2021, here with your live show. We're live 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Of course, giving out free picks to everybody, and our best bets always are our premium picks. Doesn't mean they're always winning bets, but those are the ones that we feel most confident about. I got to say, I really shouldn't have felt so confident about some of mine this past weekend, but that's the way that it works, and that is the way of the world, and that's how they play, why they play the games. No one stays hot forever. No one stays cold forever. And most of the time when I come out of a cold streak, well, normally it's with a vengeance. I'm not ice cold, but I'm also not where I want to be. You know, it's funny because a week ago I was red hot, right? I was coming off of 4-1 Sunday. I was like on a good mood. Yesterday I was 2-3 in my premium picks, and my whole attitude changed. But that is the nature of the beast. But everyone knows I love Mondays anyway. And, hey, we got preseason NBA basketball to talk about today. So it's a beautiful world. That's fun. It's a beautiful world. Got Joe Madden with us, Brian Bittler, Mr. Happy, and Rod Zawacki. You know, if that doesn't spell cheerfulness on a Monday morning, nothing does.
Well, I have my coffee, no tea this morning, so I am excited for this Monday morning. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers, everyone. But,
I've never bet an NBA preseason game ever.
Well, today's your day, Brian.
Today's the first day, huh?
Today's the first day.
Today's your day.
This is a new day.
Well, look at that, Brian. You and I'll have a first together. I've never bet preseason basketball either.
Yeah, I have to say that I was pretty disappointed in my premium picks this weekend, especially in the YouTube premium, which are even harder because it's like, you know, I've never been a huge fan of the YouTube premium from the outset, but yeah, I just couldn't pick anything. I just couldn't pick anything, and the worst part is, it's like, you know, some of the other cappers gave out picks, and I was on the other side with premium picks and won those games, you know, which makes it worse. And you know, it's a tough thing because it's like I want everyone to win, but on a lot of those games, I'm on the other side, so I really don't want them to win. But it's like I know everybody who's watching the show wants it. It's a conflict, right, all the way around, which is what I've said since day one, and why I always say at the beginning, these picks are the individual opinion of the handicapper, not a group consensus. Oh, man.
Yeah, no, I had a hard NFL day yesterday as well. 1 and 2. I hate days like that.
2 and 3 for me. It's like, and the thing is, I could have easily, just by editing my picks and moving a couple things around, I could have easily been 3 and 2, 4 and 1. Because, you know, I really liked the late games, you know, were the ones that I really liked. And, you know, that's where we not only did we kill. See, the thing is, like, our premium picks that we gave out in the YouTube were not good. But the ones that we gave out on that premium halftime show went 6 and 1. With 3 money line dog hits, you know, so it's like, no, I know no one will count those. The ones you win don't count, you know. I know that with some people. I understand. I've been here for, you know, I've been around the block a couple times, so I understand that. But hey, it's the nature of the beast. The beauty of this business is you're only as good as your next pick, and we got a game tonight in the NFL. You know, we're doing the premium and VIP show. Directly after this show. It's going to be one show. And it's going to be that way for the next 3 days because there's only one game that's a real game on each of those days. So it's going to be a lot of props, a lot of fluff. It's kind of almost like like the All-Star break, but I don't know. Maybe more, I don't know what it's going to be like because we don't really rehearse those or anything.
I'm giving out my premium pick and my prop for tonight. So.
Wow, I'm not. So I'll tell you that much.
Well, you know, what am I going to do? There's one game, so I want to give the best I can. I got to get back on track. So I shaved my head, I shaved my face. I'm ready to go. Changed my pen out. I got a new pen.
I'm not even going there, man. It's like
0-3 yesterday.
Let's just say Manscaped offered me a sponsorship deal, and I didn't take it because I knew I would probably get thrown off of YouTube, you know, for doing it. It's like, Rod, what's that buzzing sound? Oh, nothing. Don't pay no attention to that. I'm just doing some personal grooming. It's like
just a little bit.
Yeah, that would not be a good show. Certainly.
No.
Not going to get a lot of subscribers that way.
As long as the fans not going over here either, and all of a sudden,
it's like the sponsors that I've turned down recently are all those ones, the hair growth guys, the Manscaped.
I could use the hair growth stuff.
It's not Viagra, but they have like those other ones that like have that, like people that they think because we have primarily a male audience, that stuff that
Men's MENS, I think it's called.
No, it's the one where they secretly send it to you in the mail.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it starts with an S.
I don't know what it's called.
I
don't know what it's called.
Hims. HIMS.
Is that what it is?
No.
I don't know. I'm not familiar with these things.
Hims.
But it's I have no idea.
Not touching that one either.
Well, it's a medication that helps you, But it's for older guys like us, so you never know.
It's called Hims.
Fortunately, I might not have my full head of hair anymore, but I got some other things still going for me. Anyways. Anyways, speaking of which, we got the undefeated Raiders tonight against the Chargers. This one in Los Angeles. I always call Derek Carr David Carr. I can't help myself. It's kind of like I call the Chargers San Diego Chargers. I call them the Washington whatever. I'll be calling them the Cleveland Indians for the next 10 years. It's like this is just the way that it is for me. But anyways, it's at SoFi Stadium. I'm going to guess this is going to be a massive Raider crowd at this game.
Yeah, I'm going to say so too.
Absolutely will be.
Brian,
Chargers never have home advantage, ever. No matter where they are.
San Diego's just one of those weird places, It's like, it's beautiful. I love it there, but it is one of those places where people, they don't seem to care about much, Maybe tacos, which is a good thing to care about if you're going to care. Tacos is a good thing. But
I think if I had a vacation home, I'd love to have one in San Diego. Other than the taxes, the weather's perfect in San Diego.
It's not as nice as it is here. It's definitely wetsuit material in the ocean. So it's not the weather. The weather's perfect in the respect that it's kind of like you feel like when you're in the shade that you need like a light jacket, and then when you're in the sun, you don't need a light jacket. It's like kind of that type weather. It's Mediterranean weather, but at the same time, like the ocean isn't like how it is here. I mean, there's good surfing there too, but it's packed. It's totally choked. It's a lot of shortboard surfing, but it's totally choked. There's tons of people. So.
Yeah, I wish they'd move the Chargers back to San Diego.
San
Absolutely.
Diego Superchargers.
I know, I love that song. No, I can't sing that song.
Los Angeles Superchargers.
Yeah, it just doesn't work.
I really like LA better than I like San Diego, to be honest with you.
Oh, really?
The city, yeah, I love LA. I love it out there. So you don't have to think much, and I like that. It's kind of, you just.
Yeah, I'm a thinker.
It's all good. It's like these are my people. It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
It
Well,
is.
everyone's saying I should have my Chargers jersey on. I'm sorry, you guys. I was going to put it on later, but I probably should have worn it this morning.
I don't know why I like LA so much, but I just love it there. I do. I just think it's a great town. It's like highly underrated, in the grand scheme of things, except for the people that live there. The reason you could tell it's so awesome, it's like, look how many people that probably that went to LA and now live there, right? I mean, because it's awesome. They just have everything. It's like New York, but great weather.
Probably very expensive.
Brian, for you, money's no object.
Well, I don't like giving half my money to the state.
Well, I'm sure you do in Pennsylvania. What's the tax rate there?
It's pretty high. I pay a lot in taxes.
It's 12% here, so I think it's going to be higher than here.
Oh.
I'll tell you that much. 12% in Hawaii. My new neighbor, Jeff Bezos, just moving in.
Is he?
Yep,
Oh,
about 2 miles from my house.
Well, that's smart. You want to buy property.
He's only got $179 billion. Just needs another investment. Anyways, I think it'll be interesting to see what happens. There. I think there's outrageous mortgages in a lot of places here in Maui. In my town, this year they sold one down the street from me went for $45 million. So that's a pretty decent sized mortgage too. I know. When
Didn't you show me a
monthly
picture that
payments
was 1.6 or something like that?
Yeah, but it was like a teardown, right?
Yeah,
that was the
yeah.
idea. Yeah. It was like a teardown home. There was like a potato on the counter in that.
Hey, that's all right with me. I can make that.
Right. It was like
That was the thing. I mean, there's also another one on my street for 1.7. That's 626 square feet. If you want to move into that baby.
626 square feet, eh?
Yep.
Wow. What's that? Move over.
It's crazy, you know. I thought when Jim Carrey bought the house, like that house, you know, like that he paid I think 30 for his, and I thought that was like, I love his house though. I mean, I do. It's beautiful. It is like that tiki style, you know, that I like. It's like if you're gonna do Hawaii, you gotta do that, you know, like my house, you know, tiki and rocks and you know, go all out, go Hawaii, red palm trees and stuff. Lipstick palms. Super tropical. Anyways, we got a game tonight. We got a bunch of them. Let's get to our first game, and that is the Chargers and the Raiders. Brian, what are you thinking in this game?
I probably sound like a broken record, but I like the under in this game. San Diego Chargers. I think the strength of their team is on their defense.
There's San Diego Chargers right there.
Did I say San Diego? Well, the Los Angeles Chargers. I think the strength of their team is their defense. They held Kansas City to 24 points. Dallas Cowboys' potent offense is just 20. And Washington doesn't have a potent offense, but they held them to 16. I think the Raiders, I think as the season goes on, their defense is going to improve more and more. They did it. They held the Dolphins to 21. I don't count that interception return. The Dolphins only put up 21 on them. Steelers 17. Ravens 27. So I think for me in this game, and it's a division rival game, big time. So I think points are going to be harder to come by. So for me, it's the under here, 51.5. I think it's a close one. I think the two teams put up about 48, 49 points. I think it slips under.
Rod?
And for me, I'm going the other way. I'm going to say it goes over. Both of these teams don't have much of a running game either. They like to pass the ball. They're both offenses passing over 60% of their all pass plays. So that doesn't equate to burning clock and running the ball. And Raiders, with Jacobs being probably out for this game, they're not going to have a top solid running back. They'll have a couple guys back there. They're still going to try to run the ball, but just as you said, that San Diego defense is pretty good. As I said, San Diego again. As this Chargers defense is pretty good. It'll be tough for the Raiders to run it, so I think they're going to be throwing the ball. So I like the over in this one. You look at Chargers 5-1 to the over after accumulating 350 yards. Previous game, they're also 5-1 to the over their last 6 versus a team with a winning record. And you look at the Raiders, they're 5-0 to the over off of an ATS loss. They're also 8-1 to the over their last 9 versus the AFC. So give me the over in this one.
A lot of people complaining about the property prices where they live. I think it's just the year that we're in, the time that we're in. Like a lot of people haven't been spending their disposable income, and then what happens is that a lot of people want to move out of the cities, you know, where they've been trapped and haven't been able to do anything. So they want to move to places where they can get outside and do things like that. And that's why you're seeing California and Hawaii and places like that, the real estate prices just going through the roof. And, you know, the other thing is that when you sell your home for so much more than you paid for it, which everybody is doing right now, then you have only X amount of time to buy another house and spend a good portion of that, or else you have to pay taxes on anything over a $400,000 gain. So it's like if you had a house that you probably paid, you know, $300,000 or $400,000 for, it's probably going for $1 million now. You know, so it's like you're going to have to pay that differential. So that's what is going on. I think. I don't know. I'm not an expert. I'm too busy doing videos all day, but that's what I see. I'm the person that's living under a rock. People like say like a lot of people in the hate emails I get tell me I voted for this person, and the other people say I voted for the other person. It's like it all depends on, it's like how that has anything to do with me thinking that Trey Lance's performance compared to what Mac Jones was doing in New England is not even close, right? Exactly what we called it on draft day, right? I mean, one guy is a project at best. The other guy is probably going to win a bunch of Super Bowls, right? Because he's super efficient.
I picked up Trey Lance yesterday.
It's terrible. Terrible.
He looked like he had some sparks yesterday.
Yeah, against the worst defense in the entire NFL, 32nd ranked defense. This was his big play, right? This is his big idea. It's 3rd and 4. Joe and I were watching the game together during the halftime show, right? So this was for our premium members. It's 3rd and 4. Trey Lance gets the ball, and he gets near the line of scrimmage, and all the players are around him like ready to tackle, and he just falls down forward. That's going to do it. It's like, maybe at North Dakota State that works. It's like, I mean, I didn't even understand what the hell he was doing. He only seems to get big plays on broken coverages. It's like if there's a busted coverage, he gets a good play. But what we saw with Mac Jones, even though he's the king of checking it down, right? I mean, it's just ridiculous, right? It's all he does is check it down. That's why he's 25 of 29, because every one of his passes is 4 to 6 yards, right? So it's like, but he will get better. You can see that. But Trey Lance, he might not get better. He just might not.
He had 41 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, they were down by it went from a 7-7 game to 28-7. So they went into a soft prevent zone. They whooped them. Russell Wilson was doing exactly what Russell Wilson does. It looked like he's tackled and he kind of just does one of these, and then the guy just makes the one-handed catch. But time and time and time again, this happens, right? It's not luck. It's almost like that's what they practice. Seems like it, right? Seattle clobbered the Niners yesterday. I mean,
I didn't like the 4:00 game.
If they would
Arizona was good, but that was about
if that was a fight, they would have stopped it. Arizona too against the Rams. That was just a savage beatdown. That Matthew Stafford looked like Matthew Stafford in that game.
Yeah.
Very
much
much so.
Back to him.
Joe, what do you think about tonight's game with your Los Angeles / San Diego Superchargers?
Oh, this game is going to kill me. I'm so excited for it and so scared for it all in one. The one stat that's terrifying me is the away team in the last 3 matchups has won. So that does scare me. These Raiders are riding in hot 3-0 on the season, and I think their way to beat the Chargers is if they can play a more balanced run game. So the Chargers defense is failing more so at the run game than they are at the pass game. That being said, I don't think the Raiders can do that. They're going to try to pass this ball tonight, and the Chargers should win it. Fingers crossed. I'm really nervous for this one. So I hope my Chargers can come out. I don't want the Raiders 4-0 on the season. I think we're going to see a higher scoring game as well. When we look at the totals, the last 3 games, we've seen 2 hit those over, only 1 hit those under. I think this will be a shootout battle between these quarterbacks. Last possession, if it was 3.5, I'd like the Raiders because I think this is a field goal game. But at 3, I'm seeing a push.
I'm seeing some pressure here on this 3 to the 3.5 range. It's kind of just seems very pushy to me as well. And I'm not sucking up to Joe or anything, but I'm just saying that I agree with her there on that one. I just think that it looks super pushy, but I think that this is going to be an aerial show. I don't think either of these teams. I think this is one of those ones where it's like just back and forth scoring. Like one of these Monday night thrillers. I think it has a chance to be that, and I think it does come down to the final 5 minutes or less of the game.
Absolutely.
So
the Chargers can't get these penalties. They can't get the penalties, Mitch. They'll kill themselves. They'll lose it for themselves.
There's going to be a lot of penalties, but they're going to. I mean, we saw this weekend in the NFL some of the worst officiating that we've ever seen. I mean, every year it seems to get even worse and worse and worse. And what most people don't realize is that, it's not the it's not the touchdown that they don't call a touchdown, or the guy that's in bounds that was out of bounds or anything like that, because those plays are now all reviewable. It's the non-reviewable calls that are the difference makers. It's the second down holding penalty that takes it from 2nd and 3 and a converted first down to 2nd and 13 and an obvious passing situation. That is the difference makers here with these bad calls. We saw a call in Dallas that swung the game. We saw one that lost the game for the Panthers. You could say all these other things happened after the fact, but you take the Cowboys. It was a 14-point swing, on a play where they called it was non-reviewable because they called it forward progress stopped. So how is forward progress stopped not reviewable? If his forward progress isn't stopped. His forward progress was stopped because he didn't have the ball in his hands. That's why his forward progress was stopped. His forward progress stopped because the ball was on the ground. And it was in the Panthers' hands. And it was in Cowboys territory. Instead, the Cowboys got a touchdown on that drive. Imagine the Panthers get the ball right there and march down, right, and score a touchdown. The entire tone of the game, the play calling, the strategy for both teams changes.
Changes.
Yeah. The whole game.
It was awful.
At that point, the Panthers have to say, because that's 3 calls in a row that have gone against them, right? 2 fumbles now that they don't get. And then even the crappy 2-point conversion, which is crystal clear that he's not in, has to be reviewed for 18 to 20 minutes. It was like, is there any possible way that we can give these guys the 2 points? Is there any possible way? Because what we're going to do is we're going to make people sit here for 25 minutes when here's a still of the goal line and the guy and the ball. Okay, here's a still of the goal line and the ball lined up straight down the line from this side, from over the top, right? And, but it takes 20 minutes to review this thing? Unbelievable. It's like, I don't know, man. This is why I am like I am towards the NFL. I do it for the money, just like the players. It's like, why did I sign? I always wanted to be a Chicago Bear. Just say it, man. They offered me $1 more than anybody else. Just say it. Own it. That's why, like, the guys like Terrell Owens or Deion Sanders, at least they own it, At least they always owned it. It's like, why are you here? And they gave me $1 more than anybody else would. But I don't understand how officiating like that, how it's okay in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
And how it's not reviewable. How is it not reviewable? We saw, pass interferences, holding calls, same thing, just questionable. Even in last night's game, same way. We saw.
Yeah, and I think this will be another game tonight where it's like that because these teams don't like each other when they face up.
Who was it? Who was it? Kyler Murray that got grabbed by the face mask and thrown down to the turf, and they didn't even call it, right?
Yeah,
they don't even call it.
Absolutely.
It was like he was like holding his face. It's like they called like something on one of his guys instead. It was like the double salt in the wound. It's like bigger TV market, Los Angeles. It's like, oh man. Plus they got Matthew Stafford, so it's like we got to figure out how to get the hell out of this thing.
Absolutely.
I don't know. Maybe if I would have won, I'd feel a little differently.
Yeah, refs are getting paid by the wrong people.
I had the Panthers. I lost that one.
Yeah, so did I.
But
I believe so much in the Panthers going into that matchup. I really thought they would have taken that one.
But I think what happens is they did not throw the flag on the face mask on Kyler Murray. They absolutely did not throw it. They did not throw the flag on the face mask.
Yeah.
They did not throw it. Joe and I were watching it right here as well. Guys don't watch our halftimes. You should be. We have a lot of fun. We didn't do as well yesterday as we normally do, but it's the nature of the beast. We're playing with house money there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just don't understand like how the worst calls are not reviewable, right? The worst calls, it's like, is the worst the call gets, then it's not reviewable.
Right. Don't worry, they do the same thing in the CFL too. They're like, oh, that's not reviewable. Sorry.
The Steelers blocked that field goal kick, and you couldn't review whether he was offsides or not. And they took that back to the house. That was 7 points, but I didn't see him being offsides on that one. But maybe I was looking at it because I had the Steelers. But
yeah, but you
should be able to review those offside calls.
Offsides is reviewable. Oh no, it's not reviewable.
They said what? It's not reviewable.
To me, it didn't look like the guy jumped
it's
offsides.
not reviewable.
It was
like what?
It looked like he timed it perfectly, but what do I know?
There's been 2 plays in football that have affected replay the most, right? One was the Cordell Stewart catch that he was out of the end zone, right, for the Steelers that put him in the Super Bowl. And that was the one that started replay in the NFL, where they finally said, okay, we're going to do it. Then there was the college game with Louisville versus UConn, where the guy called for a fair catch and then just ran the ball in for a touchdown. Nobody touched him. That was, those are the 2 plays where it's like, man, we got to really look at what's reviewable and what's not reviewable. The guy waves his arm in the air, catches the ball. Everyone stands there. He just runs it in for a touchdown. It's like, sorry, this is not reviewable. It's like, because the scenarios are so absurd that anyone would miss these calls, like, grabbing the guy by the face mask and throwing him on the turf, right? It's so absurd that a ref would miss that no one would even think to even have to. It has to be defined in certain parameters to be reviewable, as opposed to just anything is reviewable, right? So it's like, if it doesn't fit in those, in order for it to fit into those parameters, someone has to create the scenario that it actually happened. It's like they review targeting in college football, right? So that's a reviewable thing, but they don't review horse collar tackles, right, in the NFL or anything like that. They don't review face mask calls. They don't review defenseless receiver, out of bounds hits, right? I mean, how many of these do we see?
Yeah, how many of those do you see?
I don't know, man. I think in the out of bounds hits, I don't understand why you cheer when your quarterback gets hit 8 yards out of bounds. When I was a kid, we used to get mad.
That's 15 yards.
Yeah, so you cheer that your quarterback just took a cheap shot.
If I got a bet on that team, yeah.
Well, I'm talking about, as a fan of the game.
I'm not a fan of anybody.
We know that, Brian.
You don't have a team?
I like the Chargers, of course, but I can't honestly say that I'm a fan of anybody, because I'm a fan of whoever I have my money on that night. So I gave up being a fan probably 10 years ago. All business.
I like it. But I think when you're a fan of a team, you know that team. I guess we know lots of our teams inside and out. So that doesn't count. But I think we know as a fan, I can take my heart out of it and know when my team's going to win and when my team's going to lose.
I hate pass interference. And one of the things that I said last night on our halftime is that I believe that when there's a call that happens where it's a half the distance penalty, that the yardage markers should move back to compensate for the yardage that they can't make up on the field. So say you have a holding call at the 9-yard line and they move it back 4.5 yards, then it should move 5.5 yards, the sticks further out that the team has to gain. They're never going to do it. We know that.
Nobody can figure that out.
I can figure. I just did. Did you notice?
Yeah,
did you see the electronic yard markers that they have now?
Those are cool.
They were cool, right? It tells you how many yards they have to go to the first down. It's like on the thing. Someone's thinking. You got anything for sale today? Anybody?
I got my Monday night money shot. Either subscribe to the YouTube Premium or pick it up at pickdogs.com. $30. I got winning Saturday 3-2, and then yesterday 0-3. So that's not acceptable. Hopefully bounce back today. I'm ready with my Major League Baseball tomorrow. So it should be a nice week. I shaved my head, so luck's coming.
Rod?
Yeah, for me, I got that's my 10-star Monday Night Football game of the month. I absolutely love this game. You can get it over at Pick Dogs Premium for $15 guaranteed. If it wins, we all win. If you lose, you get your money back. How's that? That confident in this game.
In college football, they review everything, so the games aren't longer. Every play is reviewed in college football. Someone's saying the games will be longer. Joe, you got anything going on today?
Yeah, I'm going to have a bet on this game tonight. So it will be up right after this show, you guys.
And I got to pick only against the spread play, too. What's the look, Ryan? What's the face?
No, I was going to say, I wasn't doing my job. I should have looked to see if Joe had a play up and then yelled at her, "Where's your play at?"
Yeah.
Everybody gets different. Everybody plays by different rules. You have to understand.
I didn't even bother
I'm the boss, and I get to say what the rules are. And if certain people get to play by certain rules, then does that mean that not everybody plays by the same rules? I guess it does.
Yeah.
Well, she's my favorite. So.
Thanks, guys. No, I've just I've pounded out these numbers on this game tonight, and I really think I have a bet that's going to hit nicely. So I had to make sure I was completely confident before I put it in.
All right. Well, we got the wild card games are decided. So we got the Yankees and the Red Sox. This is a gem at Fenway Park. Of course, the scene of one of the most famous playoff games of all time, the Bucky Dent game. Of course, there's been some great playoff matchups. The Who's Your Daddy, Pedro Martinez thing. Got it's everything, right? Kurt Schilling, the bloody sock game. But yeah, this should be a gem. And then on Wednesday, Max Scherzer and Adam Wainwright.
Yep. Death of the Cardinals.
Cardinals, big money, willing to go there. I could see some plus 1.5s being put in on that game by us.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on these games, Rod? Early thoughts? I mean, we're going to go to them tomorrow because we're going to have nothing else to talk about. So.
Yeah, exactly. I have no.
We don't want to burn our next couple of days up.
I'll pull a roof flow and pull a hard straight up ass on.
Well, something else happened yesterday, which you may or may not have known happened. The NBA started yesterday, and the Nets beat the crap out of the Lakers. I mean, they beat the crap out of them. Paul Millsap had 10 points for the Nets in that one. Everybody played except for the guys that we would want to see, right? So it's like Kevin Durant, James Harden, Kyrie Irving, Blake Griffin. None of those guys played.
That's your team, though, the Nets.
I don't really.
You have a team. You like the Nets because they have all the all-stars on the team.
I don't think so. I mean,
Nets and Lakers.
I'm Bulls. Everyone knows that.
Oh, I thought you were Nets and Lakers.
Nah. You're Chicago Bulls.
I'm just messing. Al Nino's the Lakers.
I lived in Chicago. Once you go to the United Center, I also lived in Boston. So it's like I was there during the great Celtic era. Lakers, they sat most of their guys too, in that one. But Dwight Howard played. He had 11 points. That beauty. So it's not everybody's not everybody's sat, The Lakers, I mean, look how many players were on. Westbrook, Anthony, James, and Ariza did not play in that game, but look how many guys did play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 15 guys did play, 14 sat, so they have 19 players on the varsity. I think only 12 get to make it, right?
12 make it, yeah.
Yeah.
Got to make some cuts.
Yeah, some of these guys will not letter this season. We got the Raptors -1 against the Sixers. This line is inverted based on line movement alone. I smell a Bittler bet.
Yeah, I would take the Raptors.
Well, it's not your turn yet, so just keep that to yourself. Keep your hands in your pants where they were. Got the Celtics and the Magic. Celtics -8. The total 213.5. Rod, what do you think of these preseason games? Do you think they go over, or are they generally just no defense, more like an all-star game? type thing, or do you think you have guys competing for spots, so they're like,
right?
they're leaving it all out on the
that's
court?
you have to dig deep into these NBA preseason games to see who's. You have to dig deep because you're gonna find out who's second, third stringers
we refer to as peeling the onion here on Pick Dogs.
You have to peel a few layers to get definitely. You have to peel some layers to get back.
How many other shows out there covering NBA preseason? I'm really digging deep here. We got Oklahoma City against Charlotte as well. And, Brian, Minnesota Timberwolves are in action against your Pelicans.
How are they my Pelicans?
Well,
they might not be my Pelicans.
You're a Timberwolves guy. We know.
I like a small market team. I'm not into the LA Lakers and Brooklyn Nets like Mitch is. I like the smaller market teams.
You're a Pelicans guy.
Well, yeah, we knew you liked Minnesota.
I think really looking at the board, and I've never bet an NBA preseason game.
You just look at the teams with the top. You look at the players with the top 5 selling jerseys, and that's where Brian lives.
I think that the Toronto Raptors waiting, closer to tip to see how that line fluctuates more, but seeing it go from +1 to -1 in some spots, I would keep an eye on that Raptors game there.
Here are Brian's teams: Lakers, Bucks, Nets, Mavericks, Celtics, Suns, Warriors.
No, but I remember I had the Warriors game 1 last year against your Nets, and the Warriors got spanked. So
you got your Steph Curry jersey.
I'm going to agree with Brian. I'm going to take the Raptors tonight only because they're the Canadian team and they're my team. So let's see the Raptors come out.
I want to get off to a good start, in Toronto. And
they actually do like getting off to a good start.
Raptors are deep. They're not, they have lots of guys in the back end that love to play hoops. So
absolutely.
I'm with you. Give me the Raptors. I'm actually going to place a bet right now.
I think it's a no-nonsense year for the Raptors.
Definitely going to make a plus on this game right now. Go Raptors.
Well, they've got all of Canada behind them.
Toronto's a team generally during the regular season you have value on a lot of times.
When you look at it, this is going to be their first game. They didn't play any last year in Toronto. This is going to be their first game back in the Air Canada Centre. In well over a year.
Sacramento Kings, that's one of my teams.
So, even if it's a preseason game, the crowd's going to be going nuts. They're like, we can't, the Blue Jays are out. Well, the Raptors are starting. Yeah, let's go. And they pile.
What is the situation with fans and stands in Toronto? Are
they upped the numbers for the Blue Jays game up too. It was up over 15,000, 20,000. So I guarantee you probably get that many in the Canada Centre.
Even inside, hey?
I think they're doing the same thing that we are in this end of the country. Yeah. You can go to an Oilers game as long as you show that you've got vaccinated.
Yeah. Well, there we go. Should be a good game for Toronto tonight. Any other ones you guys are liking?
I like the Hornets against the Thunder.
Hornets, okay. Let's
Thunder
see that.
Buddies.
Thunder Buddies?
And I like the Warriors. I'm going to take the Warriors.
They're not in the slot.
Over.
You can't take them.
Oh, yeah, I jumped a slot. So
I'll tell you what, anytime Charlotte's laying 3.5 on the road against anybody, you have to take a look at that one.
Portland, Warriors, Jazz, Spurs, Kings, Suns, and Clippers against the Nuggets. You got to go for the Sacramento Kings. No one plays the meaningless game better than the Sacramento Kings.
Sacramento Kings. That's my team. If I had an NBA team, it'd be the Kings. I'm going to put $55 on the Kings tonight. I think I might break my cherry. The Kings and the Raptors.
Yeah, no one's going to play for the Suns.
No one's going to play for the Warriors either, so I'm in there. And all the public's going to be all humping up on Portland. They're all going to be like, yeah, go Portland.
Portland's one of those places, Rod, where they really care. So it's like you have to worry about that when they're home. They really care about their team. They saw what happened in Seattle. They saw what happened. So they really care. Also, we have to remember there was no fans in the stands for the NBA last year.
Nope. We've got some fans there now.
There'll be some fans. Not
You
me.
bet against the 76ers
I won't
all
be
year.
there, but
they stink. You're fighting with each other. They don't even know. How can you play basketball when you're fighting with each other?
No, we fight.
You're the reason why we lost the playoffs. You stink. No, you stink. It's like, holy. Can you play a game if you're fighting with each other? Nobody wants him either. It's just like
His contract's a bit high. I think that's what it is. I mean,
a bit high. It's huge. It's massive.
Yeah, he's got the max deal. So. I think if I was him, I'd be practicing my free throws constantly.
who?
Ben Simmons.
I don't think it's not. Certain guys just can't do it. It's not a matter of practice. They just can't.
I don't know. Anybody can get. Look at who was it that got better as he got older? I don't know.
Shaq get a little better. Did he get a little better as he went along?
He might have got better.
I don't know. I think he might have got a little better, but it definitely wasn't great.
All right, you guys talked me into it. Let's do some NHL preseason. Getting close to the regular season here. About a week away, right?
Yeah, I had to put my picks in for Eastern and Western Conference. So.
Bruins, Flyers, Sabres, Blue Jackets, Senators, Maple Leafs, Devils against Capitals. I'll take all the dogs. I'll take the Bruins, the Sabres, Maple Leafs, and Capitals. I might throw the Leafs out. I'll just take the other three.
I think the Devils there laying minus 150, minus 160 against the Capitals team. People love to bet the Capitals. It just seems like a lot of plus money that they're trying to bait you into Washington. I might lay the juice there with the Devils. I think the Devils are going to be a lot better this year. I'd look at their over point total for the season. Anyway, that's my team. I like the Devils.
I'm with you.
I like the Buffalo Sabres at home.
I'm going to take Columbus on the puck line. I think they kick the crap out of Buffalo. Sorry. I think Buffalo's played every game. How many games have they played? It seems they play every day. Every time we look at hockey, it's Buffalo's playing again.
Sounds like
Columbus
they're warmed up. They call that.
I would just take them on the money line. I'm not man enough to go to minus 1.5.
You said it.
I'm going to take it to minus 1.
I'll just take the money line.
The Columbus because they beat the snot out of Buffalo.
All right.
And I like the Devils at this point.
Oh, Calgary Flames a little bit, maybe.
Oh, no.
I'm going to stay away.
They want you. Look at that plus one. They want you. Take it.
I hate Edmonton, so.
Wow.
Edmonton. The Edmonton team just got an earful. They played lousy last game, and they definitely the coach gave them an earful. So the Oilers come out hot in this one and get themselves a win.
Anything else? We got the Red Wings and the Blackhawks, the Smudges against the Avalanche, the Oilers against the Flames, and the Sharks against the Ducks. Rod, what's the schedule like this year? Is it the same as last year where everyone just plays the same teams over and over and over again?
Better not be.
Nope. No. Everybody, it's back to the 82 game. Everybody plays each other. Back to normal.
God.
No more North Division and East Division, and everybody plays each other 20 times, and and then you go to the playoffs. No, it's back to normal this year. Back to normal.
All right. Sounds exciting. I can't wait.
It is, yes. My reading material.
Mitchy Puck's ready to skate onto the ice here.
I'm going to do one AHL play a day, so that's my plan.
I am too. I'm gonna do the Mitchy Puck's play of the day every day too. My way works. Yep. I mean, definitely works. So why not?
In that time frame of games, I like the Minnesota Smudges here. Colorado, what are the perceived best team in hockey, and they're paying out plus 130 in that game, that exhibition. So I'll lay the juice there at the Smudges at home. I think they get up for this one.
Smudge logo, heavy on the relish, right? A little heavy on the relish.
I was trying to work out why you're calling them the Smudges. I was like, what did I miss?
Oh, the logo.
I think you guys said this the other day, though.
The logo just looks like a smudge. It does. It's like it just.
I guess it does. I'm looking at it on my
like
phone right now.
It's ketchup, mustard, and relish just smudged across the page. It's like
Smudged across, yeah.
Ruffalo, like when it went deep into it, he was like, "It's the Minnesota State flag with the bear head." It was like, "What?" Where everyone was like, "Really?" It's like there's a lot of other ways they could have done that if that's what they're trying to do. It's like, and this was not the most effective. Like, who came up with this? It's just like when the Ducks changed their logo. What was wrong with the old Ducks? I think Disney owned that, right?
Copyright infringement.
Yeah.
Copyrighted, yeah.
Pay out. I think they could have done better too. Just get a different looking duck.
Like the Oregon Ducks.
Yeah. Steal their duck.
And change your uniform to green.
That'd be funny. Any of these
Yeah,
games?
but be careful with preseason, though, you guys. We're getting so close to regular season right now.
Yep, exactly.
I'm just gonna take all the dogs again.
Yeah, but Minnesota's the play over Colorado. They're baiting you into the Colorado there.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I got them in a round robin with every other dog.
Yeah.
Teams' last game in NHL preseason is a dress rehearsal.
For what?
Teams in the last game of the preseason, all the starters are in. It's just like a regular season game, guaranteed. If teams are playing their final game in the preseason, they're starting everybody. It'll be just like it's a dress rehearsal. Everybody's playing. So keep an eye out for that when you get closer to the end.
Because there's a couple days off between the last preseason. The last preseason's on Saturday, October 9th. And then the regular season starts on Tuesday, October 12th.
Yeah, so all those games on Saturday, we'll have all the starters will be playing
Tampa Bay's looking.
Can't wait.
Tampa Bay opens up against Pittsburgh. They're paying out Pittsburgh plus 150. I don't know. Tampa Bay, I might be Mitch's favorite team, Tampa Bay.
In this clump, I'm gonna take Chicago over Detroit. Detroit got the win when they played just the other day. Chicago bounced back at a win in this one. And I like San Jose. The Ducks are awful. They're not good. They're not going to be all of a sudden good this year. They stink.
All right. Well, I'm going to put a halt to this madness. Thanks,
yeah,
everyone.
You got me into basketball. Baby.
Thanks, everyone, for joining us. I think we're going to have more in-depth NBA coverage. I think once we start to see who these teams are, how they're playing in the preseason and stuff, that I think there usually is money to be made in these spots. So,
yeah,
I mean, I don't think we have a problem. But who am I to judge? Who am I to play God over what you bet on and what you don't? I know that they limit you sometimes in Vegas, like the amount that you can bet on these games. I wouldn't know from experience. I read it somewhere. Anyways. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. We appreciate each and every one of you. We're going to do the premium VIP show right after this. It's all going to be one show because we have nothing to talk about, so it should be interesting. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day. We're going to try and act more professional tomorrow. I'm going to try and act more professional tomorrow. These guys are already pros. Have a great day. See you then.